Hello, my friends, and welcome to today's video break. Psalm 41 verse 7 says, "All my enemies whisper together against me. They imagine the worst of me." What a sad place for David to be, because now he actually knows his enemies are talking about him, and they just automatically assume the worst of him. Have you ever been in that place where people don't really know you or know your intentions, but because of who you are, because of maybe, some other things they may have heard about you, they automatically assume the worst of you? And I think this is a very common thing to have happen. But I like where David took it. First of all, I like it that he brought it to the Lord, that, like the Lord needed to be made aware of it. But what it does is helps David Hart to understand that he's not fighting this battle alone. He understands now God is in this battle. But here's what I want to say to you and I. I'm wondering sometimes if we consider the worst of other people before we actually get to know them. And this is how it often happens. It often happens through the whispers of other people. I've had this happen to me before, that before I got to know somebody had to come and tell me something about that particular person. And then all of a sudden, I found myself making judgments not based upon knowing them, getting to know them, hearing the other side, but basing my judgment upon the whisper that I heard. So we need to be very cautious that we're not growing in our likes or dislikes about people because of what other people feel the need to tell us. And some of you, you work in probably some pretty close proximities with people, and whispering might be a very common thing, but figure it out for yourself. And I always tell myself, there's always two sides to every story. So if I'm hearing the whispers of somebody else, of something about somebody, I need to remember, okay, that person isn't here to defend themselves or even come to their, come to state their own case. So why in the world would I make my opinion based upon a one-sided idea or one-sided thought? And I would just be careful of the whispers of other people anyway. And certainly, be careful of what you are saying about others. Are you allowing what you're thinking, what you've heard, to become the final conclusion to where you're sharing it about other people? Get to know people. I just wish David's enemy would have stepped into his camp long enough to see what David was going through and allow themselves a little bit of empathy. Try it. Step in those people's camps that are being whispered about and hear their stories. Have a blessed day.